Let's see. By the way, you know I'm mad at you, right?
Mad at me?
Yeah.
Why?
All the stuff you said about me.
What you mean?
The stuff you said about me.
What you mean?
Yeah. You think you'd get back to me?
The what?
You think it would get back to me?
What did I say?
You tell me.
I didn't say shit.
And that right there is called a promo.
Oh my god.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick. This is Solo Sunday with the guest. This is Nohemy.
What's up, guys?
Actually, I've known Nohemy for quite some time. I mean, God, was it for over, I want to say 6 years now?
Yeah.
5 or 6 years?
From the beginnings.
Very, very beginning. From when you came in, we took you to the studio, listened to your music, and then to where you're at now. That's like a lot has changed since then to now.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like from what has been like one of the biggest challenges you had to deal with from point that we met to the point where we're at right now.
I think the biggest challenge has been not like being consistent, you know what I mean? Because there's things that we face outside of work, like, or like situations where you kind of want to have a break or you want to like stop, but yeah, staying consistent and creating and networking and not stopping, I think it's tough. It takes a toll on you because, you know, it's draining. It could be draining and stuff like that. But yeah.
Of course, you're very creative. Like, what do you do when you hit that block?
I used to get super frustrated before. It was like, wait, I'm having a writer's block. Like, I can't because I need to, you know, I can't fall behind on work. But now I understand the importance of taking those breaks and listening to myself and not so much of like staying like in the game because everybody, like for instance, people be like, oh, while you're sleeping, somebody's making music. And it's like, I used to live under that pressure, and now it's like, I live under my own pressure, you know? So yeah, I would say I like to take my breaks and listen to myself. And it makes a difference in the music.
Of course.
Definitely.
Of course. I mean, yeah, once you take that break and then you really kind of sit back and you're like, okay, you have to reevaluate and go back in even harder.
Yeah, because the industry just makes you feel like you do have to be making music all the time and put in music every day, like almost every week. Like, it's so fast now. It used to not be that fast. So I guess like sometimes I would get like influenced by that. Like, I have to stay in the game. I have to put out a lot of music. But then I have studied some other artists that don't put out a lot of music, and then when they do, it's so effective, that one song. So now I'm trying like to focus on that, like to be more effective in each release and not so much like quantity, you know, more like the quality of the art that I'm putting out.
Have you seen any artists that fall into that pocket where it's just not quality, it's just quantity?
Right, and to each his own opinion, because like maybe for them it is their quality work, right? But yeah, I think it happens to the majority right now, like, and I feel like labels too, and like they're just pushing for that because that's how it feels like everything's moving at a fast pace. Songs used to be 5 minutes and now they're like 2 minutes. So everything's just like so fast, and I feel like that's why everything like is starting to sound the same, and then it's hard for me to like find like new favorites, you know, maybe because I'm more picky, like I said, to each his own. But yeah, so I'm trying to not get influenced by so much what's going on and kind of like just pay attention to what feels right to me, and making sure that what I'm doing, I'm loving everything about it, and not saying like, I'm gonna do this because this will work on TikTok, or I'm gonna do this because this will work. I'm gonna do this because I feel like this song will live forever. That's what I want to feel like.
And then especially the fact that when you're talking about how music is moving fast, did you see a difference between before COVID and after COVID? Because I saw it when pre-COVID, I think we were in that pocket where those 3-minute songs. You waited for like a month for the other single to drop. Where now, when the moment COVID were stuck at home, I think what really sparked it was like Bad Bunny dropping 3 albums in 1 year.
Yeah.
He was dropping music consistent. You saw Raul Alejandro dropping a song every other 2 weeks, every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think with the point where we were into an artist, I think COVID was a perfect time for you to pump out music because you got what you wanted. You got people sitting down at home doing nothing, looking at TV and looking at their phone.
Yeah.
And to me, seeing that movement for that 2 years, I see the momentum has just kept on going.
Yeah.
And now for an artist, you have to pump out music almost every 3 weeks.
Yeah, because if not, then all of a sudden you're not relevant,
Yeah.
per se. But then I find it, like, there's this artist that I love so much, Paul Granch, from Spain, and he just recently put out a song, and before that, I think he haven't had put out a song for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the excitement that I feel like, oh, he's gonna put out a song, because I missed him, and every time like he put out music, it's really good. So understanding that as a fan too, I'm like, I want people to also like feel that excitement, like miss me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and taking that time, because like I said, then I feel like it just, everything's so saturated, like when it's like constant all the time, all like the same thing. So Borganch to me is like a cool example, because he didn't put out a song in like 6 months. Right now too, she doesn't, like every time she puts something out, it's so good, but she doesn't release something every month, you know? But then when she does release something, she does like an activation around her release and makes an experience, and then the song is really good, the visuals is really good. So I appreciate her art so much because of all those little things that I feel a lot of artists are not doing. They're kind of like, hey, it's Friday, new music, go listen on Spotify, Apple Music, and that's it. Like, I don't see creativity around the release as much as before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one things I do see a lot of artists make the biggest mistakes is where them promoting the music, them pushing the music, because I see a lot of people like, hey, my music comes out tonight. It's like, what happened of like really pushing your music 2 weeks ahead?
Right.
Like a great example who promoted their song for almost 6 months was J Balvin when he was promoting reggaeton.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember, he was doing it like early in the year, and he was, I think it was like late January, February, and this is many years ago, and he started posting throughout almost the whole entire year until he dropped that song at the Land Grammys.
Oh.
And he went like 6-7 months of promoting that song without releasing the song.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, oh my God. And then when he dropped that song, it was massive. But one thing is that I've talked to a lot of artists, and they always ask me like, oh, I promote the song the week of. It's like, no, you should start talking about it, promoting it, posting it, show visuals. Literally the same day you turn in your song to the distribution.
Yeah.
At that moment, you give the date and everything. That's those 3 weeks. That moment when they're like, cool, we got it unlocked. At that moment, you start pushing it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it happens to me, like, because like I say, this past year in 2023, like putting out so many songs, like I would put out like, I don't know, 15 songs a year, and then like me myself out, like my manager would tell me like, you gotta keep promoting your music, like you just put out 3 songs and it's true, it happens. And I think it's because when I'm scrolling and I just see so much content, so much of everything, like I get like kind of discouraged, and it's crazy because I'm trying to find, like even still now, like trying to find that momentum of like, I want to like not feel like I'm like overloaded with like putting out so much music. I want to like slow down a little bit and focus on everything else around the release that I feel like I have to do better at. So like I say, like I don't promote my stuff the way that I should, but I love that I'm able to say that here and realizing it, so I can like continue to like get better at like what I'm doing, what I'm saying, and not get so much influence. So I like to tell artists like, stop looking at what other artists are doing and create your own strategy, your own world, and have people go at your pace, don't go at the industry pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. And when it comes down to, you know, the being creative, you know, making music, writing, I mean, you do all that, right?
Yes.
Have you reached a point where you're like, I want to quit? How many times have you said that to yourself?
Oh, I think a lot of us say it all the time. You know what I mean? At least in a year, it crosses your mind, because there's so many little situations you face on a daily.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Example, like you start comparing yourself. You start seeing maybe like what you've done and like where you're at, and maybe it doesn't make sense when you look at it. Maybe you feel like it's not moving as quick as you wanted, so then you start thinking negative, like, so, and then you start seeing your bank account too. You know, that's a big thing. We can, all artists, we can like agree on that. You know, it's tough for us to live off of this when you're starting up, because you got to invest so much money into your videos, into, you know, that mix, that master, because you want that quality. So, and then you see other areas in your life, like your personal life, be affected, because you're like, damn, I took money from the rent to go play this music video. Now I'm, you know, so then you start questioning, like, you know, should I keep doing this, or should I go the safe way, you know, play it safe? And it has crossed my mind, but nah, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like the love for music, the art, and like just understanding, that's why it's important to understand your why in this thing, and understanding like your purpose, because when you think about that, you put money aside and you're like, this is more important, you know, and that's what always makes me like just kick that thought off my head and just like, let's keep going, let's just go harder, because that's what we got to do. And yeah.
And because you released an EP late last year.
Yeah.
And great songs. I mean, one of my favorite songs on there is La La La.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs on
I
there.
love that record, yeah.
What has been the biggest struggle to actually get those, like the DSPs and all those people to really kind of say, hey, here is the song. Why haven't you guys done anything?
That's a good question, because prior to putting No House out, me and my manager, you know, we took the homework to go visit the DSPs and like show the project before it was out, because to us it's really important to create good relationships in the industry. Like, we're a big believer that, you know, it's not all money, you know, like, we're pro art, so we believe like, yo, if the song is good, like, you know, people are gonna support. And I have received like amazing support from DSPs and stuff like that, but you know, could it have been better? I say yes, you know, but I would never really understand much of like those decisions made at the DSPs and stuff like that. Like, you know, that's a whole nother world. I understand this is also a business. There's things that tie into this, but I just do my part as an artist. I go, I show my project, and whatever it is, whatever support I get, I'm always going to be thankful for that, and I'm always going to look at it that way. And if there's something, I always just check myself, do I got to do something better on my end? So I'm also complementing the support that I'm receiving from the DSPs, you know, like promote myself in other ways, in other areas. So that's more like where my head be at with everything else. But yeah, at the end of the day, the fans decide.